sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good day, Sigma race fans. We come at you live from Rockingham here tonight for what is the 13th race in the SIGMA ARCA Series, the Hard as a Rock 100. 100 miles, grand total of 99 laps around Rockingham here. And so we'll go through the starting lineup. On the front row, you've got Brandon Butler II alongside Violet Void. Okay. And then behind that, you've got Santi Messi and Chris Jaramillo. Campbell Marsh and Pedro Sales. Ralph Oberstadt and Marvin Werner. TG Castlenut alongside Travis Regan. Wormy Wormington and Reese Landry, fresh out of victory lane in the last race for Michigan. Then you've got Ace Vaden and Astro Atlas. Heen Clutchoke and Craig Bush. Carlos Eduardo and Jonah Burridge, Cooper Landry and Tasha Wright, Cassie Perkins and Kaylee Sheets, Stephen Miller and Tyler McCarroll, Chase Kovacic and Gabe McDuffie, Billy Lovejoy and Ryan White. New to the series here, you got Sarah Robert in the number 79 North Central Texas Motorsports Gulf Ford Fusion, alongside your points leader, Finley Herwig, starting deep in the field. Going to be a long road ahead for him. Timothy Buchanan and Taylor Cording. Borat Sagdiev alongside Sebastian Galloway Jr. Shy Turtle and Bucky Campbell. Jamie McMurphy and Kyle Chestnut. Dylan Smith and the 51 alongside the 21 of Sophie Harwick. And then with Jeff Bolton and Adam Jefferson rounding out the field here today at Rockingham.
Gentlemen, start your engine! How about Shannon? Oh, this clear. Or you sound good. Side pulls the whole thing off. There.
We're ready to roll here from Rockingham as Brandon Butler gets the early lead on the field. As mentioned earlier, Finley Herwig is your points leader. Second to him is Jonah Burridge by a grand total of 67 points. Ryan White, Carlos Eduardo, and Ralph Oberstadt round out your top 5 for the points. Santi Messi here running in second. He's gotten a win on the season, and he sits 10th overall in the points. Your leader there, Brandon Butler II, hasn't been an ideal season for him so far, but he's been trying to make the most of it. Sits 12th in the points, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s. And he's under attack here by Santi Messi for that lead. Violet Void was front row, and she's dropped all the way back to 5th here in the early running. Her teammate Campbell Marsh running in 3rd, I mean. Shy Turtle with the fastest lap early on here. Oop, and that just bounced to Ralph Oberstadt, who's running in 4th. Those fast lap times are probably going to bounce around here for a while until things get sorted out. Single file at the front of the field. You got Werner, and Sales is in a new paint scheme here, the Aflac number 0. Running in 7th at the moment. Good way to start the day. TG Castlenut running in 13th there. Chris Jaramillo, after winning his opening race at Portland this year, it's not been as easy for him to see the front of the field. Here we got 3 wide for second place. Ralph Oberstadt fighting with Campbell Marsh. This is going to give Violet Void a chance to also join the party here. as Santi Messi got hung out high to dry. From second back to sixth, maybe even worse. Heen Clutchoke with the fastest lap in the race now. And that is from 10th to 8th. Man, he made a big jump there. Pedro Sales now into the top 5. Looks like TG Castlenut trying to get up into the top 10 as well. So a lot of movers here in the early running. Gonna go ahead and check the NR2003 pit window here. They're saying 98 laps. Could this be Michigan all over again? We saw this race last week at Michigan where the pit window was the exact length of the race, and then we had a late caution right at the end that put the entire finish of that race into a tailspin. Shy Turtle had dominated, leading a bunch of laps, and unfortunately didn't have enough gas in the tank at Michigan to get it done. We might get a caution that could really erase that, but if it goes caution free for 99 laps here, might start checking the books and seeing if they got the right fuel numbers cranked out here today. So we might be in for a back-to-back fuel mileage race in the SIGMA ARCA Series. How crazy would that be? Brandon Butler up front leading, though. He's been able to hold the lead pretty steadily here. So far has led all but one lap. 9 laps. 9. Who led the other one lap? No, it's okay. It just didn't cycle. There we go. He's 10 for 10 on laps led. Campbell Martian second. Ralph Oberstadt third. Pedro Sales, Santi Messi, Heen Clutchoke, TG Castlenut, Ace Vaden. But where is our points leader here today? How bizarre is that not in the top 20? There's one of our competitors, actually both of them. 26th and 27th. Finley having an off night here at Rockingham. His competitor in speed there, Burridge, right in front of him. That's 1 and 2 in the points, running neck and neck with each other. That's insane. For 26th and 27th. Wow, Pedro Sales just jumped up a spot there, getting by Violet Void for 4th. Your top 3 are closing in on each other. Here we have Ralph Oberstadt trying to make a move for second. This is actually allowing Brandon Butler to drive away from second, third, fourth, and fifth. Looks like Oberstadt's going to get the position for now. Campbell Marsh is going to be stuck up high. And almost 3 wide. Santi Messi goes way low. Pedro Sales in the mix there. Just now kind of realized that we got Battle of the Fast Foods here in the Sigma ARCA Series. You got Dairy Queen with Wormy Wormington running in 11th. Look about 6-7 spots back. You've got Travis Regan for Burger King running in 17th. Tasha Wright, in all rights, has McDonald's on her car, even though that's the Dr. Pepper car. Running in 32nd here. And we're back to the front, which is also a fast food brand, Runza, kind of their own sandwich brand in Nebraska. Think about a Nebraskan, well, I don't know if I'll get lampooned for saying this, but like a Nebraskan Subway, but it's not Subway. Don't ever get the two confused. It's its very own kind of a sandwich. You might just Google it, look what up is a Runza. They look pretty damn good. I've never been to Nebraska, so I wouldn't know how they taste, but I would definitely try to go to Nebraska just to give it a try. Ooh, and there we've got the first caution of the race here today. Sophie Harwick in the number 21. This might just sink any fuel mileage concerns that we were going to have here today. Ooh, this is a loaded wreck here. Oh, no. The last race winner of Reese Landry. Looks like maybe had a flat tire or something. Yeah, flat tire. That tire goes flat and collects a few other drivers here today. Unfortunately, the 21 came in hot here, and she had nowhere else to go. Bam! Hard hit, and then gets clipped again by Kovacic and the 51 of Smith, Dylan Smith. So that's a couple previous race winners. Daytona's race winner there, and Michigan's race winner in Reese Landry. Hell, Kovacic was a race winner this season. So you had a trifecta of race winners involved in this wreck, as it was all happening back in the back 30. Kovacic nowhere to go. Clips Landry there, and then bam, hits Harwick pretty hard. I do think that the 95 of Galloway got just a little tidbit of damage there. We're going to follow along in the cockpit on this one. Bam. Well, that is going to pretty much erase the fuel mileage concerns that we were looking like it was going to turn into, as everyone will have pitted here on the caution. And it looks like they pretty much rejoined the racetrack right in the order they came down pit road. retired out of the race after that wreck. It is the 77 of Chase Kovacic, the 21 of Sophia Harwick, and the 51 of Dylan Smith. 94 shows 1 lap down. It looks like Reese Landry is going to continue on. Although 1 lap down with some significant damage. If some more Sigma ARCA stuff can happen here tonight, you never know. He might gain several more spots before the end of it. As we get ready for the restart here, the lights will be off on the pace car. Brandon Butler leads the field to the restart with Ralph Oberstadt, Santi Messi, Campbell Marsh, Heen Clutchoke, Pedro Sales, Carlos Eduardo, Ace Vaden, Violet Void, TG Castlenut, Wormy Wormington, Tyler McCarroll, Cooper Landry, Chris Jeremio, Billy Lovejoy, Travis Regan, Craig Bush, Stephen Miller, Borat Sagdiev, and 20th Taylor Cording. Jonah Burridge is up to 23rd so far. A little bit further back, Finley Herwig struggling in 28th. As they get doubled up on the backstretch here for the restart. So many times in the Sigma NR2003 world, the outside is the place to be on the restart. So we'll see what Oberstadt has, or if Brandon Butler is going to maintain his lead. Oh, Ralph gets one hell of a jump there, and it's a drag race down the front stretch. Ralph is credited with leading that lap this time, but he ain't going to hold it. As you see, Brandon Butler gets the advantage and closes the door. Now Ralph is going to have to try to find an opening down low. Could we be in for more cautions, as the old adage always seems to rear its ugly head? Cautions breed cautions. Made it clean 1 lap here. Campbell Marsh about to get by Oberstadt for 3rd. 3 wide. This is a very highly contested spot for the racetrack here, as they're 3 wide for about 10th. He settled down a little bit, but man, it is kind of do or die territory right now. Yeah, of course, with that caution, that helps kind of bring everyone onto an even playing field on fuel numbers. We won't see them stretching it to the fumes like we did at Michigan. So that opens up a whole new strategy book here for the last half of the race, as you're going to have drivers that are just going to have it pedal to the metal. No reason to save fuel, so let's try to go for the kill. But at the same time, track position is key, as you're seeing here with Brandon Butler having that front of the field. Clean air, no draft, no dirty air holding you up. He's been able to lead all but 1 lap so far. Seems like the strategy definitely changed for Borat Sagdiev, as he's bounced up to 11th here, right there in front of TG Castlenut. Also on the rebound, you got the 45 of Jonah Burridge. He can smell blood in the water, knowing that Finley is having a bad day today. This could put him in a big swing back, the momentum in his ball court for that championship battle. Running 14th right now. Comparatively, Finley Herwig, last car on the lead lap, running in about 38th, 39th place. It's a long race still. We're not quite halfway, but it's coming up. Wow, Violet Void with the fastest lap in the race now, and she's up to 5th. They're looking to avenge teammate Chase Kovacic here today with a good finish for the other 2 cars. Campbell Marsh in 3rd, Violet Void in 5th. Campbell Marsh has a good run here. Is he going to try to get around the 5 of Santi Messi? He's carrying that momentum into turn 1. Has the door open, has the advantage. Going to pull out on the backstretch here and has 2nd place in sole possession of that number 99. But watch out, that 16 is stout. We've seen it put down some fast laps here today. Violet Void going to try to make it 3 wide with these 2 in front of her. She had to make a move there, and it might have been a miscalculation, as now she's stuck up above Carlos Eduardo. Ralph Oberstadt's running right on the tail of that 00. This SIGMA ARCA Series has definitely been the highlight of our season so far. A lot of great racing action, some surprise winners, and just all in all, it's impressive to see these newcomers start to establish themselves, start to build a career for themselves, a name for themselves. And before you know it, they're going to start climbing the ladder up towards our cup bracket. And man, is the future looking bright for the SIGMA Racing Series, as we've got a very healthy cast of characters here in ARCA. Bridge to Cup next year is going to be wild. I can only imagine the new names that are going to be moving up the ladder. Bridge to Cup is going to be one to watch out on next year, as the ARCA Series has continued to grow, give us some, new names, new faces, and just overall, talent. The wings are full, and we're going to be following their, trajectory all the way through the, next couple years. We got a move for third. Carlos Eduardo getting around Heen clutch choke. Finley looks like maybe made a little bit of a resurgence here as he's up to 29th. Ow. Pedro Sales, who was running up in the top 15, is relegated all the way back into 36th. Whoa, 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 whoa. We missed a swap for the lead here. Let's go back one lap. Campbell Marsh gets the run down the front stretch. And side by side going through turn one, he's got a nose on the 43 of Brandon Butler. Turn 3, turn 4, see ya. 43 loses the lead here to Campbell Marsh. Campbell Marsh seeking his first career SIGMA ARCA win, and Willow Racing's second win for SIGMA ARCA competition. That would bring two different drivers in the Willow Racing camp to victory lane. Violet Void would be the only driver not yet to see victory lane of the 3-car team. But it's just a matter of time before Violet Void finds victory lane. Wow, Jonah Burridge up to 11th. So he's trying to maximize points gained here today on Finley Herwig. We just made it past halfway a little bit ago. 44 laps remain after 55 laps have been complete. Brandon Butler has pretty much locked up, led most laps here today. If you look, 49 laps. Could be eclipsed by Campbell Marsh, but Marsh is going to have to lead absolutely every lap. Actually, it would still be one lap short. Might be a tiebreaker, whoever winning. If there is a tie, it could very well come down to a tie if I'm not mistaken. And actually, there wouldn't be a tiebreaker. I would give the bonus to both drivers if it is truly a most laps led tied between two drivers. Doesn't happen very often, but you might as well reward both drivers for having a stellar race. Wow, Carlos Eduardo making a move for second. That's going to drop Brandon Butler backwards. Santi Messi on the move. Ralph Oberstadt. And Violet Void very much in striking distance. She's secured the fastest lap here in the race today. And she's definitely showing why she had the fastest lap as she's moving through the top 10, maybe even the top 5 here shortly. Well, Violet Void up into the top 5 now. Could we see another Willow Racing 1-2 finish? We saw it earlier just a couple weeks ago at Watkins Glen, where they came through with a 1-2 finish. Kovacic in Void. I know the joke has been made that Violet Void may very well be becoming the next gosh, why can't I remember the Xfinity driver's name? Sheldon Creed, which, how ironic, she's in the 00, and Sheldon Creed drives the 00, so mayhaps the problem is the car number. Sheldon Creed was originally in the number 2 car, but shares the number that Violet Void drives this year. Maybe it's just bad juju. We are down to 36 laps left to go. Campbell Marsh doing the best he can to keep that lead away from the competitors behind him. You've got some parity at the front as Toyota leads a Ford over a Chevy. The only absence is Dodge and Pontiac at the front of the field here. Very, very few Pontiacs in the field. We do have a Dodge Dart of Cooper Landry running in 8th. Holy cow, Jonah Burridge knocking on the door. Some movement through the field here. It looks like TG Castlenut dropping backwards. Ryan White up to 12th. Man, Finley Herwig is 27th. Reese Landry just holding on, doing the best he can with the damage sustained in that wreck earlier. This SIGMA ARCA Series has definitely been a hot zone for new winners, first-time winners. It's been kind of a smorgasbord of drivers getting to victory lane. Let me go through the list. Obviously, you got Finley Herwig, Jonah Burridge, your top 2. And then Ryan White has gotten a win this year. Ralph Oberstadt has gotten a win. Santi Messi has won a race. Casey Klein, Chase Kovacic, Chris Jeremio, Dylan Smith, and Reese Landry was just the most recent from Michigan. So that's what's amazing about this SIGMA ARCA Series is the unpredictability and the excitement behind so many drivers getting their first career wins. But at the same time, it's not just a, it's not just luck of the draw. They got to go out there and prove themselves every week. And the proving grounds, it's pretty crowded, as you've got a lot of hot shots trying to prove their point, make their value skyrocket so that they could become a potential cup candidate in the future. Willow Racing is the highest point scoring team out there with 3 drivers. They've actually outpointed a 4-car team, which is that of the Courting Brothers Motorsports. So Willow Racing has been the stars of the show here in the SIGMA ARCA Series, and it obviously goes to show when you've got Campbell Marsh leading here with 29 laps to go. Violet Void not too far behind him. But, however, even though they're a Toyota team, Chevys have been the most dominant here in SIGMA ARCA with 5 wins, an average. Well, that ain't. If you look at the average points, Toyota's outpointed everyone on average. 332 average points across 13 drivers, whereas Chevy has 290 average points across 18. So, yeah, even though Chevy's got 5 wins, 23 top 5s, and 52 top 10s, Toyota has 4 wins, 23 top 5s and 45 top 10s. Toyota takes the cake for pole position. They've had 6 pole positions across their 13 drivers. Chevy's only had 2 across their 18. Dodge, Ford, and Pontiac are definitely holding up the caboose here in the Sigma train. But even with that, you still have Carlos Eduardo, who's 4th in the points, and that's a Ford. And you can see him right there in 3rd behind Santi Messi. He's had an interesting season so far. Keeps it interesting, keeps having some good finishes. He has avoided having very many bad finishes. He's had 0 DNFs on the season. Not very many ARCA drivers can say that they've had 0 DNFs. Shy Turtle has also had 0 DNFs. So those are just a couple drivers that stand out. Kind of in an oddity of sorts that they've run a full season and yet have only, managed to stay out of wrecks and chaos all the time. If we look here, Shy Turtle is running front of the points leader. Shy Turtle in 20th, mid-pack. Definitely not on the same level of his Michigan run a week ago where he was dominantly leading. He can still make up some spots here, as looks like he's about to get up to 18th. Top 3, or rather 2nd, 3rd, and 4th under contest here. 22 laps remain. And Violet Void is most likely chomping at the bit to try and get around these 2 cars so that she can try to find some ground to catch her teammate. Wow, Campbell Marsh has really stretched it out as Santi Messi, Carlos Eduardo, and Violet Void are all kind of left fighting for 2nd here. Violet making a move here on Carlos Eduardo for 3rd. Looks like she's going to get the job done. Now she's just going to have to focus on Santi Messi. Also, a little bit of lap traffic in the mix here, as you've got Jefferson and Bolton. Campbell Marsh better be careful that he doesn't catch him too quickly, or else it might put a hamper in his big lead. Campbell Marsh currently sits 7th in the points, right behind Violet Void. Actually, the worst in the running order of Willow Racing is the 77 of Chase Kovacic, who ended up in a wreck here today. He's 21st in the points, and with a wreck here today, that's probably only going to drop him a little bit further back. Might fall as far as 24th, it looks like, maybe 25th. Well, 15 laps remain. Violet Void has to get around Santi Messi before she can even start thinking about catching her teammate. I think you're starting to see some of the tire wear off, as Carlos Eduardo had a good run and it's going sour as those tires are getting away from him. Falls back to 7th, under attack for 8th, possibly even 9th. And Campbell Marsh is dealing with that lap traffic. It's all going to come down to how quickly he can work around the lap traffic. Our drivers are 3 seconds off their fast laps. And that goes for everyone in the top 3, honestly. But if Campbell Marsh can get around the lap traffic with ease, his lead may not be in jeopardy. Once he clears the 82, it looks like it's clear track, clear sailing ahead. But he still has to get around the 82. Yeah, they're just now entering the front stretch as they're on the back half of the track. Campbell Marsh gets around the 82 and sets sail with now 2 lappers separating him from Santi Messi. But don't rule out the chance of a late race caution here today. We might have to enable green-white checkers too if things look like it could be going that direction. For the most part, all signs are pointing to Willow Racing getting another win here today. I'm willing to throw some adjectives out there that may or may not jinx folks, but yeah, we're giving Campbell Marsh a high five, a round of applause. He's doing a great job out there leading this race with just 9 laps to go. Number 99 has had a decent season so far. Has kind of been second fiddle to Violet Void and Chase Kovacic on occasions, but not tonight. The only reason I say second fiddle is because they've kind of had the headlines while Campbell Marsh has just kind of quietly been in the background taking care of business. You know, sometimes it's not the loud and proud ones running out front. Sometimes it's the folks in the background crunching the numbers and seeing the big picture at the end. And that's exactly what Campbell Marsh has been doing. Putting together a game plan and sticking to it. This 99 wants to prove that he is a contender for the championship after all. We already knew that Violet Void and Chase Kovacic, they have had the power, they've had the speed. Campbell Marsh has had the consistency. Keeping it out of trouble, bringing it home in one piece, and yet again here tonight doing the same as he always has. This could very well jump him up to 4th in the points, depending on how the other drivers settle in the running order. But a win goes a long way no matter what. Prior to tonight, the best finish he had was a 5th on 2 occasions. 5th at Portland and 5th at Daytona, and has not yet seen victory lane, of course. Santi Messi up past the lap traffic. Violet Void still has an opportunity here to get up to 2nd and make it a Willow Racing 1-2. But the laps are ticking away here. So we're going to keep the cameras rolling on Violet Void for these final 5 laps to see if she can get around Santi Messi. definitely don't want to continue feeding that Sheldon Creed trend. But a second is always better than a third, so I mean, why not? She is running comparably faster laps than Santi Messi. As we are down to 3 laps to go now. I think Willow Racing might be the first team, if they could get a 1-2 again here today. One of the few teams that have done it so many times. They've only done it once, but no other team has done it once. So that means they twice would be a record that no one else has achieved yet. Lap 98 and 99, Violet's going to have to get it done here if she wants to get up to second. Santi Messi, just the odd duck in the middle here, looking to kind of spoil the party for Willow Racing. First third is still a great showing. Campbell Marsh, he's getting it set back into a Sunday Cruise foundation here. Doesn't have to give it any more than he needs to get it to the start-finish line. As he comes roaring out of turn 4, he's going to come home a champion at Rockingham today, winning his first ever Sigma ARCA race win. Santi Messi second, Violet Void third. Clutch Oak, Vaden, wow, Burridge bounces up for a 6th place finish. 7th, Ralph Oberstadt, Carlos Eduardo, TG Castlenut with a top 10. And Ryan White also top 10. Finley was able to bounce back for a 21st, but the points starting to swing back in the favor of Jonah Burridge after a night like tonight. But huge kudos to Campbell Marsh. 99 laps, and the 99 car takes it to victory lane. It was an exciting race. We had one caution here today. Very, very good Sigma ARCA race here today at Rockingham. And that officially marks the halfway point of the Sigma ARCA Series. 13 in, 13 to go. Campbell Marsh brings Bucky's to victory lane here today from Rockingham. And so that is a wrap here tonight, folks, from Rockingham. Don't forget, we've got a Sigma Cup race coming up later this evening. Live stream with the Sigma Cup Series from North Wilkesboro. We aren't running the Coke 600 till next week. This is kind of the prelude to the Coke 600 with North Wilkesboro. Kind of following in line with the real-life NASCAR Cup drivers with North Wilkes and then Charlotte right afterwards. But y'all won't want to miss that Coke 600 next week. We will have a sprint qualifier, 100-mile in distance, with a lot of new faces trying to make their first ever Sigma Cup career starts. Some of the drivers here tonight, we saw Finley Herwig. He's going to try and attempt the Coke 600. Then you've got some truck regulars given an invite. David Bird, Alan Malcolm, Alex Sanvital, just to name a few. And so, yeah, hopefully all can tune in for that Cup race next week. But of course, try to tune in for North Wilkesboro tonight, later on, as it should also be a good race. So, with that, folks, I must bid you farewell from the Sigma ARCA side of things. Hopefully you enjoyed the race. Congratulations again, Campbell Marsh. May be one of many for that young star. And so, on to the next one. And until next time, folks, stay safe out there. Have a great day. This is Jakester, signing out.